Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We are live on Park City Television. And for all of you who are looking to move your own career forward or maybe do a life change in a completely different direction, we are always thrilled to welcome the self-proclaimed recruiter guy, Bill Humbert, to give us all of his best insider tips and tricks from his years of experience in the industry. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Eliza.
So you have a topic today you would like to discuss that, of course, is near and dear to about 52% of the population, which is equal pay for women.
That's correct. You know, you figure women process information differently than men. And I've been told by my wife, you have so many more women professional friends than you have men. And I go, makes sense when you think about it. And she goes, why is that? And I say, the guys will say, yeah, you ought to do that, Humbert. Women will say, are you crazy? Don't do it that way, do it this way. And so it's important for us as not just a community, not just as a state, but as a whole nation to respect what women can bring to the table. And that'll increase profitability, innovation. It's amazing what I've seen women do. And you see all these women inventors that have great inventions. They're intuitive, and you go, why didn't I think about that?
But shouldn't we look at this too as not necessarily approaching how women process information or how women approach a job, but just as the same thing you would not say a different race should be paid differently or an age should be paid differently, that it has nothing to do with their thought process or how they approach problems, it's just a basic right.
Exactly. That's right. I mean, it's,
yeah, that's,
you know,
right.
What more can I say? That's exactly right.
So why are we still having this discussion in 2017?
Well, you know, there was this guy back in caveman days, John Q. Caveman. He was a professional marketer, and he was awesome at what he did. He must have been, because what he created back then still works today. Back in those days, men were supposedly the breadwinners. They're going out and doing the hunting and everything, but here's what I picture, because I've seen other guys, and me too. Honey, thanks for the bowl of cherries. I really appreciate that. So, you know, back in caveman days, I got to believe that guys were the same as they are today, but somehow this guy got the marketing done so that people believed it through those thousands of years. That's the reason we're having this conversation today. Even from caveman times, people believed it.
But do you think this is also more of a legislative issue? I mean, no one's going to publicly say, I think that women should be paid 70 cents on the dollar. This is something that's just being fought in political landscapes. Well, what do you think the issue is in Washington, where they can't seem to get something passed for equal pay for equal women?
Well, I think the major issue is, first of all, I truly believe in states' rights. And I understand why Washington needs to be involved. And, you know, that's what the Equal Opportunity Commission was involved for, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that should be something that should be a state issue, because it impacts the state. Utah, for instance, we want to become known as Silicon Slopes, right? Mm-hmm. How about all those women engineers in Silicon Valley? Or how about all the men engineers that are married to women who are professionals? All they have to do is look into the state of Utah and say, you know, honey, I'm not going to be able to get the same job or the same pay as men in Utah. Are those companies going to move to Utah? Probably not. Are they going to say, why not? Probably not.
No, you could never actually admit that. Well, what is your advice for women that are currently in a position and they are sitting next to their male counterpart, knowing that they are making, you know, 10, 15, 20% less than their coworker? What is your advice to them, how to approach it?
Well, the first thing that you want to do is you always need to work to be successful. So you got to keep your head on straight. Secondly, begin to network with other people that you know and find out what their situation is. And if their situation is one where they're getting equal pay, then find out about that company and find out if there's a position inside that company where they can be introduced by their friend. Hey, I know another sharp woman. I think you ought to talk to her. That's what they should do. They still need to be successful where they are, but use that leverage to go somewhere else.
Good work will always be noticed, right?
Absolutely.
Great.
It might be ignored money-wise within a company if that's where they've been successful in the past. But if all of a sudden their really strong contributors are leaving, that'll get their attention.
All right, Bill. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. And let's do one thing. Let's make John Q. Caveman's marketing become extinct.
I would love that. That would be a nice thing for 2018, maybe. We're going to take a quick break here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're going to be back with Tom Kelly from USSA to give us a report on all of your favorite athletes from around the world right after this.